guys doing?
Doing great. Let's talk about Chicago. Obviously, a game you could have won. I know you go back and look at film of all these games. Where do you think that one got away, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was the key pivot, I thought, was not finishing drives in the red zone. We had plenty of opportunities to be able to do that. And for us to have what felt like total control of the game, but to only be up 6-0 was disappointing because our defense was getting stops. Offensively, we're moving the ball, but we had, some situations where we stalled out and there was points to be had. And so starting at the third drive, we call a play action protection, and they end up, forcing a sack fumble, and they recover it, and that gives them life. And it looks like we're going to get a sudden change stop and get a penalty that puts the ball in the one. And then you're sitting there and you're saying, man, it's 7-6. And, we kind of went back and forth, and there was enough opportunities. And you don't want to take away credit from Chicago, but I believe that there was a lot of things that we're capable of executing at a higher level that we didn't do, and that ended up leading to the result that we got.
So defense, at least to my eye, Coach, my amateur eye, looked like it was kind of tale of two parts of the defense. I thought unbelievable pressure. Jared Verse was great. Actually had 2 sacks negated by defensive holding. Braden Fisk forced a fumble in there, but gave up a lot of yards on the ground to DeAndre Swift, who really had his way. Talk about the defense and sort of that the pass pressure versus the run defense.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned it. And really, in a lot of instances, we had knocked out the run fairly early, did a good job with that. They had some penalties that extended some drives, and then, he breaks off a long touchdown, and, we didn't execute the way that we were supposed to do on the second and third level of the defense. And so I was, relatively pleased with our front. But, football is the greatest team sport that there is, and we're all in this together. But we've got to do a great job of playing 11 as one, and that's on offense, defense, and special teams. We've got to continuously provide clarity and do a good job of communicating with our guys, and that will lead to better quality football. And want to see that start to improve for us on a consistent basis because there was moments of positive things, but there was too often, not that execution that I believe we're capable of to play the caliber of football that I think we should be playing.
Sean, it's well documented that you have a coaching tree in the NFL now, that a lot of your assistants have gone on to be head coaches in other places. Here comes one of them into town this week with the Packers in Matt LaFleur. Is that fun for you to go up against your friends, or if you had your druthers, would you rather not? Because obviously one of you guys has to win and one's going to lose. How do you feel going up against somebody you're friends with and that you like?
Yeah, it's definitely more fun when we can both win in a weekend.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Matt's a really close friend of mine. We've been really close friends for a long time. Obviously, his brother Mike is our offensive coordinator. There's a lot of ties between the LaFleur and the McVay family. But, when these games kick off, it's about, the Rams versus the Packers. There's a familiarity, but we've been fortunate to be in these positions a handful of times. He's a great coach, does an excellent job with his group, and we got our hands full.
Sean, obviously you're dealing with injuries, both Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Darius Williams out, multiple guys out. How close is it possible that we see Puka and Cooper Kupp after the bye?
At some point I'm hoping so. Exactly when that point is, I don't know that yet. We've missed those guys. We've missed a lot of guys, like you mentioned. But in the meantime, it's given other guys an opportunity to step up, to get good experience, and for us to continue to develop as a team. And the season goes on. It's a race to maturity. We've got to continue to do a good job of accelerating our progress. And, and that's all we can do is focus on it one day at a time.
Every time I watch Jared Verse play, Coach, I think, man, that guy doesn't look like a rookie to me. But you watch him closer than I do. When you talk to Verse, when you guys, have conversations with the defensive coaches, talk to him, how can he get better? Or is he already really good and he just needs time on the field?
No, he's really disruptive. I mean, he's doing a great job of making an impact in these games. Been really proud of Jared. As you accumulate experience, you continue to understand where your opportunities arise to make a play. And sometimes it's not about making a play. It's about funneling the ball back inside. And so I think you'll continue to understand that, where you can play consistent, where you're going to get a bunch of opportunities to impact the game, but then sometimes it might not be that that might not be your calling and, for the integrity of the defense. But this guy's a stud. He's so coachable. He's tough as hell. He represents a lot of the things where he'll be a building block for us for years to come.
One of the players that has really jumped out the last couple of weeks, and especially with Puka and Cooper Kupp out, Colby Parkinson has made some really big catches for you. Talk about his contribution.
Yeah, he's done a great job. We really liked him, from Seattle, seeing him up close and personal, the development over the last couple of years. Nick Caley's an excellent tight end coach that does a great job developing those guys. And Colby has made strides. He's had good production in both phases, so we've been really pleased with Colby.
Sean, this is a weird one. Jared Goff, who, of course, you used to coach, went 18 for 18 the other day, and he did not have a perfect passer rating. Even though he threw no interceptions, he actually caught a touchdown pass. He played to what looked like me to a perfect game. Do you put any stock in QBR, or do you kind of just shake your head and think that's a media-created thing?
Yeah, I think you look at it snap by snap. He played great. He did an excellent job. I thought his ability to make good decisions, play in timing and rhythm, looked pretty fluid, catching the touchdown pass. They looked awesome on offense at Detroit. And, he had a spin move in the pocket where he ended up resetting and hitting a curl. He looked great. He did an awesome job. They look like a really, really dang good team, and they looked awesome and explosive on offense. So I was happy for Jared. Looked like a perfect quarterback rating to me. I don't know what it is if it's not.
Me too.
I'm curious about Blake Corum, who's got a little action at the end of the game a couple of weeks ago, but hasn't really gotten touches in key situations. I know Ronnie Rivers is kind of the go-to if Kyron Williams is not on the field. Where's Blake Corum in his development?
Yeah, he's continuing to develop. We'll look to see if those opportunities arise moving forward. He's a guy that has got a really bright future, really coachable, does a great job, made a big impact with the kick return to start the game against Arizona. We love him. It's just like you guys said, hasn't had those opportunities quite yet, but we'll see when those chances present themselves. He continues to work, stays humble, and I love Blake Corum.
All right, Coach, last thing. We're settle an argument for us. Mason and I both think it's too early to decorate for Halloween. Everybody else on the show says, no, you got to start now. We're into October. Is it too early to decorate for Halloween?
It would be for me. I'm with you guys. So
yeah, I thought
so
too.
It would be too early. I'm about a week out guy, but I would side with you guys. We got to. We got some other things to do other than worrying about decorating Halloween. We got to play better right now.
Yeah,